Welcome to another Fabric Tip Friday. I've come across something else, and I think I have mentioned it several times, but some people may not go through the videos or whatever to find it. Just putting out trim pieces and everything where the bell cranks and what have you comes out of these wings. And I want to touch base here to where you have an open area that's going to get glued down. You can glue it out to the edge, cut it out, put some thick glue in here, let it dry. You can put a little bit of thin glue right here and wet it, and you can put it down, push it down with your finger, and you know it will stick. But then if it's a little bit too wet, you'll come back and it may have come back up, and when it comes back up, it's got a little air on it then it's just right to come down. And you'll be sitting here doing this and trying to, and it's a matter, the glue holds great, but when it's wet, there's a certain, when it's like this and it's wet, it's fine because it's going to dry, but you're making a 90-degree, and especially with this 101 fabric, that's a pretty hard bend right there that's trying to pull the tension back. And if it's a little bit wet, it will come back, or if it's a little bit wet, you'll come down, and then in the very corner, it will be hollow right there. One of the ways I've done is put your thick under it and put your thick on this and go ahead and let it dry. And I'll take an iron and I'll have it up to about 3 1/4 or better. Let's see if I can do this and hold the, what you do, and I've mentioned it before, you're kind of breaking that backbone of that fabric down. And the heat will actually activate Airtech Fine, especially if you've got thick glue on both sides and it's dry. When you do that and roll that around with an iron, then you can see it takes it around, and we're gonna put your iron all the way in, to wherever it's gonna go. And once you get that in and it's ironed really good and stuck, then you can come back with 1 coat of thin. Now that's going to take a thin coat through the fabric down to where you stuck it. You can take your finger and just kind of wipe it across there a little bit. Sometimes on a rare occasion, you put the thin on and it'll soak through, and it might get a little wet and it's pulling on it and it'll want to come loose. But most of the time it's not going, when you're taking the iron, especially where you're taking the iron down that 90-degree. And that works a lot of times on the edge and everything, on anytime you're taking something around a 90-degree.